Rising up, back on the street, did my time, took my chances, went the distance, now I'm back on my feet, just a man and his will to survive.
André.
Oh, Sarah, I'm trying to become a professional singer.
Eyes of the Tiger with Russian accent, really?
Okay, tell me what you want.
If China attacks the US, who wins?
If China attacks the US, who wins? But the performance was good with...
Yes, of course.
Okay. That's a great question, Sarah. I have a special video for us.
Oh,
The
good.
title of the video goes, If China attacks the US tomorrow, this happens. Sarah, say hello to our friends.
Hi, guys.
Well, friends, thank you so much for all the support. We really appreciate that. That said, Sarah, ask them for the most important thing.
Guys, leave a like, thumbs up.
And if they subscribe...
You make our day.
Damn right. Link below. By the way, you can also wipe the video. Helps a lot. Let's go.
There's a war that nobody talks about, but
Which
if it
one?
happens, it ends the world. Not with nuclear weapons, with something worse. And here's the
Wait, not with nuclear weapons.
part nobody understands. Both sides think they can win. They're both wrong, because in this war, there's no winner, only a loser, and a much bigger loser. Today we're
You know what? This is interesting because I agree with the guy in the sense that we know if America fights Russia or China or any other country and there is nuclear weapons involved, like the atomic bomb, I think everyone loses. I think most
Yes,
people
yes.
tend to agree with this. But the guy said without nuclear weapons. So
Yeah.
I don't know
How they fight?
Yeah, and how the hell America loses, you know? Because if there is nuclear weapons, I agree. Everyone loses. Without,
There's no winner, only a loser, and a much bigger loser. Today we're breaking down exactly what happens if the US and China go to war. Who loses?
China. What?
we don't know for sure. let's
Let's see. Okay.
China makes a choice. Invade Taiwan now or lose the window forever. American pressure is increasing. Taiwan is drifting away from Beijing. Xi Jinping's political legacy depends on reunification. He orders the invasion. China has 370 warships. America has 290, but 11
Oh, wow.
aircraft carriers to China's 3. China has 4,000 missiles ready, but America has something China doesn't. Alliances. Real alliances that
yes.
work. And that changes everything. The missiles launch. China launches 4,000 missiles at American bases across the entire Pacific. Okinawa in Japan, Guam, South Korea, the Philippines. Every American base within 2,500 miles gets targeted simultaneously. The goal is brutal and simple. Cripple America's response before the real fight even starts. Thousands of American troops die in the first hour. Bases get devastated. Ships take hits and sink. Aircraft burn on runways before they can take off. But here's China's catastrophic first mistake. By attacking Japan and South Korea, they just activated their defense treaties with America.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, China, you know what? This is so smart by America. So basically, they have military bases and good alliance with countries that are close to China.
They are smart.
So if they go to war with China, Japan, South Korea, maybe even Australia, Philippines, those are the ones that go first, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Both countries are now officially
So sorry, but basically China needs to fight multiple countries. You know, this is actually
At the same time.
At the same time, yeah. And apart
It
from
seems
that,
difficult, but
and
not
apart from
impossible.
from that, they also have America to deal later. You know, so
They just activated their defense treaties with America. Both countries are now officially in the war.
yeah.
Japan brings 34 destroyers and the world's fourth largest economy. South Korea adds 22 warships and advanced missile systems. China thought this would be a one-on-one fight with America. Instead, they're now fighting an entire coalition of democracies. And coalitions have something China doesn't have: depth.
And for people that are not aware, Japanese people and Chinese people, historical, they don't like each other.
They hate each other, yeah.
I'm not sure if I would say hate, but there is a lot of tension between them,
Yes,
you
yes,
know.
yes.
America can fight for years with Allied support backing every move. China can't. But the coalition is just the beginning of China's problems. The president activates NATO Article 5. China attacked American territory. 30 European nations just entered the war.
Oh,
But Europe isn't
Okay,
China's.
So we
Oh.
automatically have to
we have
help
to help America.
Okay,
That's
okay.
right. I forgot about NATO.
Okay, that's how it works. Okay.
Okay. So, okay.
Interesting.
Okay, all of a sudden, Portugal is also at war with China. What?
Biggest problem.
Okay.
The real problem is economic isolation. China imports 11.8 million barrels of oil every day. Only 19% comes from Russia, the other 81% from America's allies. Saudi Arabia cuts off China. UAE cuts off China. Iraq cuts off China. Kuwait cuts off China. Within hours, China loses
But you know what? Venezuela also sold a lot of oil to China. And I think America now controls the oil economy in, in Venezuela.
Yes.
So, you know what? People sometimes think America does random things or, you know, that's, oh, why Venezuela? But I think there is a... You know, there is great minds thinking about this. You know what I mean? It's not a random thing. Venezuela is very important for a lot of reasons. You know,
81% of its oil overnight. Russia can't cover the gap. Putin has his own problems with Ukraine. He won't destroy Russia's economy to save China's. This is China's second catastrophic problem. They can't win a long war. They don't have the resources. Every day the war continues, China gets weaker. And the invasion itself is failing. China's invasion of Taiwan hits an unexpected wall.
the crazy thing is Taiwan is so small, you know, but it's difficult to conquer. Seems like.
Taiwan has been preparing for this exact scenario for 30 years straight. Every single beach is heavily fortified. Every port can be destroyed with one button press. Every major road leading into Taipei can be collapsed. Taiwan doesn't actually need to win this fight. It just needs to survive long enough for America to arrive. And Taiwan is surviving better than China expected. Chinese troops landing on beaches immediately face mines, missiles, and machine gun fire. The few soldiers who make it to Taipei face brutal urban warfare, block by block, building by building, street by street. This invasion was supposed to be a clean 48-hour victory. Instead, it's turning into a months-long nightmare. Every day Taiwan holds is another day American carriers get closer. Every day of fighting costs China thousands of troops and billions it doesn't have.
You know, something that I end up learning with the Ukraine and Russia situation is invading is very difficult. You know, it's always very difficult to invade because they are waiting for you, basically, you know, and you are fighting in land that you don't know that well.
Okay, and you have allies.
Yeah. No, in this case, there is a lot of allies that will help Taiwan, but
Automatically. So.
yeah, automatic. Even though the thing is, who knows? You know, I believe NATO will help, but for example, they said Saudi Arabia will cut the oil. Are we sure about that? You know, because a lot of those countries they care about the money and that's it. But
in the end,
in the end, you know, if China pays well.
yes.
This is China's third catastrophic problem. The invasion is completely failing. But while troops die on Taiwan's beaches, the real war is happening elsewhere.
Where?
Okay, but just to finish that thought, basically this is on paper. What would happen could be totally different. I think it's very important to say this, right?
Yeah.
Because of course, if everything goes this way, okay. But are we sure that all the alliances will be kept and stuff like that? Because at war, there is no rules, basically. I mean, we think there is rules, but there isn't.
America deploys its deadliest weapon. Not missiles, not bombs, economic sanctions. Complete economic isolation. China imports $2.56 trillion worth of goods annually. America cuts it all off. Europe immediately follows. Japan follows. Australia follows. Canada follows. South Korea follows. Every major economy stops trading with China. Chinese factories shut down without raw materials. Power plants fail without fuel. The Chinese people suffer within days. No imports means no factory parts. No exports means no money. The economy doesn't slow down. It collapses. This is the real war. Not ships fighting ships. Economic strangulation. Choking off every resource China needs. And China is losing badly.
Okay, now I understand. Okay.
And that's what that's what Europeans and also I believe America tries to do with Russia. It basically, cutting relationships and stuff like that. It ended up working, but I would say not that well also, because seems like Russia is still winning the war. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, my friend, but I had to stop the video. I was looking at my statistics on YouTube, and guess what? Most of my viewers are not subscribers. How the hell is that possible? Please consider to do it if you are one of those. That said, we are not done. Another thing, if you can follow me on social media, links below, that would mean the world to me. You make my day, as you are aware. There is also a Patreon link below, and you may find some country music reactions. Take a look. You can join for free, actually. That said, let's continue with this.
American carrier groups reach Taiwan. 8 of America's 11 carriers. Each carrier holds 75 fighters. That's 600 American fighters in the fight. Backed by the UK sending carriers, Japan sending destroyers, Australia committing its fleet. China's navy is larger, but not better when facing the coalition. American submarines hunt for 2 weeks. Both Chinese carriers sink. The third never leaves port. Without carriers, China loses air power over water. American jets dominate the skies. Chinese air bases get destroyed by cruise missiles. Supply lines to Taiwan get cut. Chinese troops on the island are stranded. This is China's 4th catastrophic problem. They're outmatched militarily when facing the full coalition. Okay,
but if this happens, if for example America or Japan destroys military bases inside of China, this I think is World War III for real. We all always say, are we at World War III already or not? But this for sure it is,
Yes,
because China will. Even if China loses bad, China will try to fight until the end after that.
And involve...
and maybe Russia comes and helps them.
Numbers don't beat quality plus alliances, and this leads to an impossible choice. China's invasion collapses. Taiwan still stands. Chinese forces retreat to the mainland. The economy is in ruins. The people are suffering. Factories closed. Power failing, food running short, and Xi faces the ultimate question. Does he use nuclear weapons? China has 500 nukes, long-range missiles that can hit anywhere in America. But America has 3,700 nuclear weapons.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it, but
No.
so when you have nothing to lose, sometimes people do crazy stuff. That's why it's so scary to mess with countries that have this type of weapons.
If China launches 1 nuke, America launches hundreds. Beijing becomes glass.
Goodbye.
Shanghai becomes glass. Xi doesn't launch because conventional defeat is survivable. Nuclear war is extinction. The war ends.
Yeah.
China requests a ceasefire. The war is over. America wins. But what does winning actually mean?
That's a great
America's
question.
losses aren't small. Carriers sunk, destroyers destroyed, submarines lost, aircraft destroyed in the missile barrage, American troops dead, massive amounts of equipment destroyed, years to rebuild the Pacific Fleet. But China's losses are catastrophic. Hundreds of warships destroyed, submarine fleet decimated, air bases destroyed and unusable, Chinese troops killed taking Taiwan's beaches. The economy collapsed. No oil coming in, no imports, no exports. Factories closed. Decades of isolation ahead. Taiwan's losses are severe. Infrastructure destroyed. Economy devastated. This is the cost of defending freedom. Japan and South Korea suffered too. Bases attacked, cities damaged, infrastructure destroyed, and the global economy collapses. Taiwan produces 60% of the world's semiconductors, 90% of advanced chips. The war destroys chip production. Every smartphone stops being made. Every
That's
car
why
stops being
It is so important.
Yeah, no. Taiwan is
Okay.
very, very important. Taiwan is very important for example, nowadays with AI, they need those chips, the very advanced ones.
Okay.
made. The global economy loses trillions. The 2008 crisis was 2 trillion. This is 5 times worse.
Yeah.
Unemployment explodes worldwide. Supply chains take years to rebuild. Recession everywhere. So who loses? China
Everyone.
loses everything, but America doesn't really win either. Taiwan stays free. The invasion failed. China was defeated, but American troops are dead. The Pacific Fleet is crippled for
In
years.
this situation,
Allies
everyone.
No, I think actually the message of the video is great because we react to a lot of military stuff, but at the end of the day, we hope there is no war, between China, America, Russia. If the world is at peace, is always the best option. I also think it's interesting to think about this in the sense that this guy is right. But maybe this is a bit short vision. Why? Because, Americans are benefiting a lot from World War II, and maybe here, China, maybe other countries that, unite with China will have to pay America something after the war. So it's, of course, again, we hope there is no war, but saying America will lose and get nothing, I'm not sure about that. But I mean, America wins the war and maybe in the short term is bad, but long term could be good,
Okay.
if this makes sense.
are damaged. The global economy is in ruins. So everyone loses in a US-China war, but China loses more.
Yeah.
America wins the military battle, but loses trillions in lives.
But in other end, for example, if this happens, America nowadays invests a lot in the military, and one of the reasons is because China is the biggest rival they have. So saying that America wins nothing is also a bit, again, of course, we hope for no war, but America also defeats the biggest rival. So America from now on can approach the future a bit different in terms of budgets and stuff like that. At least my opinion, but I don't know.
I can
Taiwan
see what
wins
you're
free-
trying to say. Yeah.
Of course, we don't know for sure.
Makes
This is
sense,
just
yeah.
speculation.
Freedom, but loses thousands of civilians and infrastructure. Japan and South Korea win security, but lose civilians and cities. This is why this war can never happen. That's the answer. Everyone loses. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe. This
Thank you, my friend. Interesting video. But
Very interesting. It is interesting to see different situations.
Yeah. But again,
What could happen or not? Yeah.
and I don't even think, even though this is sad to say, but I don't think this is an impossible scenario. The guy
Really?
said everyone loses. No, I mean, if I think there is a chance that China invades Taiwan. I think that could happen,
But
honestly.
in this situation, China lose everything.
I mean, but the president may think it will be easy to conquer Taiwan. Who knows? Again, but
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it's an impossible scenario for real. I think, maybe. That's it, Sarah. Thank you so much, and say goodbye to our friends.
Bye, guys.
Bye, my friends.